Hi, it's Paul, and today I'm an old man with a scripted video. And the question is that a good idea for you or for me? Are you familiar with the phrase, how long is a piece of string? Because the answer is similar to this question. I don't know. Sometimes I use a script. Sometimes I just use notes. Sometimes I use nothing at all and just freestyle it or ad-lib it. So first, let me tell you some of the pros and cons from my perspective. Scripting a video allows me to completely plan it out beforehand, and so I know everything I'm covering, and I know that I am going to cover everything I need to, if that makes sense. So I can look through the script and go, oh yeah, okay, I've got that, I've got that, I've got that, I've got that, I've got all the points I want to cover. It also has the effect, for me, of keeping me on track, because when I'm unscripted, I'll quite often wander off topic, which either means I have to spend hours cutting big chunks out in the edit, or it makes the video longer and puts more strain on your attention and all the rest of it. Reading from a script can also sound, well, scripted and monotonous. It can also be a bit of a giveaway, because if my script is over here and I'm reading from it, it's obvious that I'm not taking notice of what's happening on the camera and I'm reading the script instead, which probably doesn't look all that good. Notes can be a bit of a middle ground. If you make a set of notes that cover the subjects, maybe the main topics of the subject that you're trying to do a video on, so key points if you like, so a line on each specific topic, and then you can talk about within those topics as you want. That works well. And if you're confident with your subject matter, maybe you can just ad lib and just refer to the notes to keep you on track. It will avoid sounding scripted, and also it does tend to keep you a little bit on track while making sure you cover everything and hopefully don't veer too far off the point. And because you're only glancing at the notes, you can keep your eye on the camera, and you can actually make a feature of the notes and make a point of referring to your notes. As long as you're looking at the camera most of the time, it looks okay on videos. A clipboard or something, maybe an iPad as a prop that you can refer to. It's more common than you might realise. Unscripted's a double-edged sword. You've got total freedom and you can be completely natural, but unless you're fully confident with your subject matter and totally happy in front of the camera, your 10-minute video can be 2 minutes of useful and 10 minutes of I wanted to talk about today, see what I mean? I earlier said I sometimes use a script. It's probably more accurate to say I nearly always write a script, but then I approach the actual video in one of three ways. I either, like today, use the whole thing. I've got the entire script running here. Have I veered off it? Yes, I have. Have I kept to it religiously? No, I haven't. Version 2, I can highlight the important sentences, as I said, notes, and just refer to them as notes and either delete or ignore the rest. Or I write my full script out, I put it to one side, and I make the videos freestyle, because by writing the script in the first place, I've got the story in my head. It's, for me, it's, if you like, an aid memoir. It's a method of committing it to memory. Because there's a lot in this particular video that I want to talk about, I'm using the full script. If I had just notes, I might miss a bit. A simpler topic might be okay just for notes. And if I'm doing one of my tool videos, I'm usually fairly confident with what I'm talking about, so I'll either have just a few notes or I'll have nothing at all and I'll just freestyle my way through it, and I'll talk about what the feature is and what it does and how it works and how you use it and all the rest of it, because it's easy for me to work my way through just using the tool itself as a prompt to try and remember everything that I've got to do. For the actual process of recording with a script, I use a teleprompt app, but I don't use an actual teleprompter. A teleprompter itself is a thing that your camera fits inside and it reflects the script up onto like a mirrored screen, so you can look directly at the camera. So it would be right here. You can look directly at the camera and you can read the script looking straight down the camera lens. I don't use that. I use a teleprompter app on on an Android Samsung Galaxy tablet that sits just to the side of the camera. And I can just about get away with it. Also, because I have glasses, it's a little bit more difficult to track my actual eye focus. So for you, it's like, oh, is he looking at the script or is he looking at the camera? Literally, the camera is right at the edge of the script. So I'll show you it on a picture in a minute. But if this were the script, the camera lens is just here, overlapping the edge of it. Because I'm using my phone to record, and I do that a lot. Also, with teleprompters themselves, they are generally made to fit the proper cameras, if you like, with SLR setups, digitals and all that lot, with a proper lens. They fit around the lens and sort of over the top of the lens. My setup, because it's with a phone, the lens doesn't lend itself to having a teleprompter. I've never actually seen a teleprompter that is designed to work purely with a phone. I'm sure there's one out there, I've just never gone looking for it. So in this photograph you can see my setup. Here on the left is my iPhone in selfie mode, and on the right is an old Samsung Galaxy Tab A running Teleprompter Pro, which I control with a little mini game controller, and I can scroll up and down through the script, speed it up, slow it down, do whatever I want with it. I can even enlarge it and make it smaller if I want. And you'll sometimes see that in my hand in videos. That's what I'm doing. If you've seen a lot of new YouTubers, and I'm sure I probably did this myself, one of the problems with filming in selfie mode on a phone is that what we tend to do is we look at the image on the phone, because that's what we're concentrating on. We're thinking, oh, am I looking right? Am I in the right place on the screen? Am I sat too low, too high, too far back, too far forward? Is my face in the camera? We're worrying about what's on the screen, and what we do is we look at the screen rather than the lens, which is just to the side, and that can be distracting. Also, if you're obviously looking at the script but it's off to one side, as I said before, that doesn't work so well. And with a bit of judicious positioning with my setup, you can do okay. If you're using a paper script, you could make it about postcard size, so it would just sit off to the side of the lens, and it wouldn't matter if you did one postcard full of text and then pause your video, swap your postcard over, put another postcard in place, do another postcard of text, and so on and so on and so on. And then what you do is you add all your clips together, edit it up, and you've got a fairly seamless video. You don't have to have a teleprompter app. You don't have to have a tablet. I'd already got the tablet, and I bought the teleprompter app because I thought I'd need it. But in honesty, I don't. Could I do without it? Yes, absolutely. I could just scribble the notes down, like I say, on a postcard. But one of the things I've found a real advantage with this, Teleprompter Pro is Android only, and it links to Google Drive. So what I do have is I have Google Drive on all my devices, my iPhone, my iPad, my PC. So if I'm sat out somewhere and I think of an idea, literally all I do is I put the title and maybe a few lines of text onto Google Drive, and then that's the start of my script or my notes. Then I can come back to it later and I'll flesh it out and add more bits and pieces to it. But thoughts about scripts occur to me at the most random of times. I'll be sat in a coffee shop or wherever, sat waiting for something in a car park. It can be anything, and a title comes into my head or a subject comes into my head. So literally I just open up Google Drive on a phone or on a tablet or whatever, type in a script title, maybe a couple of notes if I've got time to do that. If not, I'll come back to it later. And so what I've got on Google Drive, I've got dozens and dozens and dozens of ideas, probably, I would think, I haven't counted them, but probably approaching 50 or 60 different scripts in ongoing states on Google Drive, that once I'm ready, I just put them into my Teleprompter Pro folder, and then they appear on the teleprompter and I can make the video. Then I take them off that and put them in a completed folder, because I don't want them clogging up that folder. Anyway, that's file management. That's got nothing to do with scripting. Finally, if you are going full script, write a story to tell someone. Don't write an article to read out. Don't write a newspaper article or a book. Write a story that you're going to tell someone. I did a video the other week about we should be storytellers, not content creators. And that's kind of what I mean. If you just read out a newspaper article or a book subject, it doesn't sound right. It doesn't sound relaxed. It doesn't sound comfortable. Write it as a story to tell someone. If you've got kids and you've read stories out of a book to your kids at night time or whatever when they go to bed, that's the kind of thing you're looking for. You're looking for the idea of, oh, this is what we did today and this is how it works and this is what happened to so-and-so and how about that, and try and make it interesting. I know I'm not a master of making it interesting, but it's the kind of thing you're aspiring to. So there you have it. That hopefully covers the basics of how I put it together. And if you've got any comments or questions, obviously, as always, put them down below or on oldmanwith.com. I will do my best to respond. Above all, do what works for you. Thanks for watching. See you again. Bye.